Hello, we are Ira Cho, Hyunwoo Ji, Taegun Gang, Hamin Song, and Yeonso Lee. Pentagon can be the name of us. As you can see, we're not special. We're just some ordinary kids of GVCS. One thing that can be different from the other is that we have a bit of interest in nature or the ecosystem. So, what is the ecosystem exactly? Usually, people think the ecosystem is equal to nature. Well, it isn't 100% wrong. Dictionary says the ecosystem is a biological community of interacting organisms and their physical environment. So, the ecosystem and nature are very close. The big ecosystem called the Earth consists of forests, deserts, and wetland. The ecosystem is made of non biological factors such as light, temperature, and so on. And biological factors are the producer, consumer, and decomposer. All of these factors are linked like a web. So if there are any errors in these factors, all system would break down. However, those factors receive small and big effects because of humans. Have you ever seen advertisements that say to revive the earth? Nowadays, efforts around the world are pouring into prevent environmental pollution. The question is, why? This is because environmental pollution, the ecosystem, and our lives are closely connected.
So, what is the biggest influence on our life these days? It can be COVID 19 and other viruses. Viruses usually parasite in wild animals. Why are viruses spreading to humans? Environmental pollution and destruction of the ecosystem for industrial development have caused wild animals to move their habitats and arrive in large cities, which causes the infection of the virus to humans. A research team led by Professor Chong Soo-jung of Western Youth Graduate School of Environmental Studies revealed that Australia's wildfires were prolonged due to climate change, and the FAO estimated that 130 million hectares of forest have been destroyed. Both allowed the animals to move their habitats. Of course, the pollution and the destruction of ecosystems cannot be the exact causes of the outbreak of COVID 19, but the existence of a close causal relationship can be suspected. As the temperature of the earth rises due to pollution, ancient viruses that were frozen in glaciers are flowing into the sea and spreading around the world. Due to the characteristics of the virus, though they were not active due to freezing, they become active when the temperature rises. Last year in January, a joint US and China team published 33 viruses that are believed to be active 15,000 years ago, 28 of which are novel viruses, which means there are no ways to cure them.
There are even more viruses appearing because of the change in the ecosystem. In 2014, the Ebola virus spread mainly in Africa due to logging and drought, and in 2015, the Zika virus spread to South America due to a surge in mosquito numbers due to climate change. The exposure of anthrax spores in the body of a reindeer infected dozens of locals and caused the death of a 12-year-old boy. Because of the outbreak of viruses, people started to look for disposables that minimize infection. However, the problem of environmental pollution arose. It might be ironic. There was a lot of news that yellow dust decreased and the sky became blue since manufacturers did not operate because of the corona pandemic. However, the environmental improvement presented by COVID has deteriorated, again due to COVID-19. First, disposable masks take 450 years to completely decompose. Even if incinerated, harmful substances such as dioxins are emitted and cause air pollution. The thing is, circa 1.56 billion of these disposable masks flowed into rivers and seas last year. The masks that flow into the sea cause enormous damage to sea creatures, as they mistake the disposable mask for food and eat them. The mask straps got warped around their bodies, making them difficult to live normally. Also, microplastic from masks, which is a major cause of deaths in marine life, enter the body of fish. Masks are not the only problem. The use of plastic started to increase due to restaurants and cafes selling packaged food only to prevent the spread of coronavirus. Increasingly, as the environment became polluted, the balance of the ecosystem began to collapse.
Then, what should we do? Don't we have any choice but to watch the situation?
As time passes, this problem has spread to countries around the world and has become the biggest problem mankind has to solve. And many countries have begun to implement policies to preserve the environment and ecosystem. First of all, the NWR system is in progress in the United States. The NWR system is a policy to designate 150 million acres of land and water as protected areas across the United States, from the Caribbean to the Pacific Ocean and from Maine to Alaska. This policy provides the best habitat environment for wild animals, special ecological experience opportunities for people, and an ecological network that can maintain a healthy ecosystem. The Republic of Korea is implementing a policy to create 25 urban ecological spaces where people and nature coexist by 2025 and is striving to preserve the ecosystem by improving the quality of life of people and keeping the nature environment healthy. In addition, scientists have begun to put their heads together to solve the problem of ecosystem and disposable products since the outbreak of COVID-19 began around the world. As a result, 100% decomposite and rotting-based shields and masks were developed.
However, what we should pay attention to the most is to protect ecosystem by ourselves rather than relying solely on government policies or the technology of scientists. First of all, we need to get rid of the habit of disposing of garbage, and we should separate waste collection well.
Garbage
Garbage
that
that
we
we
commonly
commonly
generate
generate
in our
in our
daily
daily
lives.
lives takes a considerable amount of time to decompose. For example, milk cartons are completely rotten after 5 years. In addition, disposable cups used to drink coffee take 20 years, metal cans take 100 years, and plastic bottles that contain delicious beverages take 500 years. If these wastes settle all over the earth without being decomposed, they cause great damage to animals and plants, and in that case, it is only a matter of time before the ecosystem collapses. Secondly, the use of eco-friendly products is also a great help to preserve the environment. Have you ever heard of environmental hormones? These days, environmental hormones are often found in the objects we use in our daily lives and are controversial. Environmental hormones, also called endocrine disruptors, are compounds that enter from outside the body and disrupt the physiological action of hormones within the endocrine system.
The thing is, if we are exposed to environmental hormones, DNA's destruction, birth defects, and mutagenesis in the human body can occur. However, environmental hormones affect the hormonal system of many animals and plants too, raising awareness that they may pose a threat to biological species worldwide, which can break the ecosystem.
We can reduce environmental hormones by using eco-friendly products. Eco-friendly products are not only free from environmental hormones, but also have excellent environmental properties by reducing the environmental pollution in the entire production, consumption, and disposal process, and minimizing the use of natural resources and harmful substances. Although it seems simple and unlikely to be of great help, it is in fact a great help in preserving the environment and ecosystem.
Ecosystem preservation, one of the most important problems the world needs to solve right now, is not something that can be solved only with the effort of a few scientists and the government, but can only be solved by the efforts of each of us. Therefore, if you do not think that it's too late and start doing small things right now to preserve the environment, we can prevent the destruction of the ecosystem and preserve it as soon as possible. We hope that all our efforts will come together to help preserve the global environment. And it has been the Pentagon so far.